Good afternoon, everyone. We will now begin this meeting of the Illinois Board Review for today, August 1st, 2024. I am Kenneth Woodson, Board Chair. The board will introduce itself, after which we will hear from the Law Department any cases that have been resolved, any requests that have been made for continuances or settlements that have been negotiated. So everyone would know, let's advise everyone that you've been muted so that we can limit the amount of disruption in terms of background noise, etc., as we get things going. I also request that is pay close attention to the list of properties that are called and entered into the record, both either your name or your address that are noted as moot or moot complied. If you need to understand what the difference is, you can call the office and the administrator will explain that to you. But for today, if your property or your name is listed as moot or moot complied, it's resolved for today. You may exit the hearing. If you choose, you can stay. This is a public hearing. That's your choice. But you should understand that. And finally, this is a formal hearing. As a court reporter, there's a recording, so each person will be asked to be patient and to be let the person speaking complete his sentence and his thoughts. Then you may speak in response if it's your turn. The second thing is that this is not an informal process, which means men, take your hats off. No eating, reclining in your bed or in your easy chair. You ask that you dress appropriately because this is a formal hearing. Dress as if you were in the courthouse. Understood? So that if you are also in a vehicle, if you're moving, we will not hear your case. You have to be parked in a safe place. So we just want you to understand that. The final thing, it's very hot outside, so if you need to drink water during the hearing, that's okay. But eating food, etc., is not an acceptable practice in the hearing. Okay, thank you very much. We will now proceed with the board introducing itself and the other panelists. Then we will hear from the Law Department. I'm Kenneth Woodson.
Ralph Pincus, board member.
Steve Pettit, board member.
Roger S. Tennant, senior board member.
Ken Washington, board member.
Cortez Patton, board member.
McSherry, board counsel.
Board administrator.
Mr. Wade, board administrator. I don't think they heard you, but that's okay. Alrighty, let's get going. Who's representing the Law Department today?
I am Lee Bagelman for the city.
Mr. Bagelman, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'll be reading the moots for today. I believe there are some continuances and settlement agreements. I'll let my colleagues individually read those into the record.
Okay.
So I'll just read the moots for
Okay.
today. The first one is appeal number 13, appeal number ending 2898, concerning 900 Ontario Street, appellant David Stewart. That is moot.
Moot, thank you.
Next is case number 21 on the list, appeal number ending 3355, concerning 1706 Walnut Street, Geppert Bros Inc. That is moot.
Just one moment. You said 21. I think that's 22 on our list.
There 21. The list I have has 21 is 1706 Walnut and 22 is 1710 Walnut.
Okay, our number's out of sequence, but what's the last four digits again?
I apologize. The two appeal numbers both are moot. The first one is appeal number ending 3355.
Okay.
And the second one is 3356.
Okay, both of those are moot. Okay.
Yes.
Got it.
And I believe that's it for moots. Again, there are some settlement agreements and continuances that I'll let my colleagues handle.
Okay. As per our normal operating procedure, if you have a matter you want to put on the record, please use the raise hand sign, and I will call on you in order. Okay. Mr. Thomas Galiza. You
Sorry.
muted. Yes.
There we go. Sorry about that. Having a bit of a technical. Oh, there we go. Camera's good now. Good afternoon, members of the board and board chair. I had two preliminary matters to read into the record.
Sir, would you just pronounce your last name so we can hopefully stop mispronouncing it?
Certainly. It's Guyutsa.
Galiza. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So the first preliminary matter was case number 28 on the list. This was HA 2024-001184 for Mateo's Drywall Construction. In that case, we came to a agreement for a city affirm with a $300 fine.
Thank you.
And then the second matter is case number 30 on today's list. That is HA 2024-002081 with a Mr. Adam Perlman. That case was agreed to a city affirm with a $1,000 fine.
Thank you.
That concludes my business for the day.
Okay,
May I be
thank you.
excused?
Yes, sir. Have a good
Thank
day.
you very much.
Okay, Miss Michelle Reinhardt.
Good afternoon, Board.
Good afternoon.
To start out with number 16, appeal number HA 2023-005278 regarding 1223 Walnut Street, appellant George Karagianis. I received an email that Board Administration was copied on indicating that they do not have an attorney, even though the tobacco retailer permit is held by a corporate entity. I believe this is the third listing of the matter, but I was unclear from the email whether they officially, sorry, I have an echo all of a sudden, if they officially withdrew the appeal. So I wanted to put it for you if you got further communication on that.
Okay, let's do this. Let's ask if anyone's present. Is anyone present representing the interests of 1223 Walnut Street, George Karagianis? Anyone present? Anyone present?
Chair,
Yes, sir.
it's today we received an email from Mr. Karazinga saying, "Dear all, we will not participate today because we cannot be represented by an attorney." On 2/29/2024, this matter was continued. On May 9th, this matter was continued for the appellant to obtain counsel. I responded to this email asking if they were withdrawing their appeal, and there was no response.
Okay. All right. Ms. Reinhardt, what is your preference?
I would like city affirm for non-appearance.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Well, actually, in this case, it would be failure to prosecute. Either Mr. McSherry, is it failure to prosecute or non-appearance?
I believe given the email correspondence, it should probably be a failure to prosecute. I didn't believe they indicated that they were
Okay.
essentially abandoning the appeal without
Okay.
formally withdrawing it.
Okay. Well, it would be the decision of the chair to declare this as a moot matter for failure to prosecute.
Thank you.
Mr. McSherry, is that sufficient?
Yes, that is.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Anything else, Ms. Reinhardt?
One more matter. I believe this is number 26 on the list, although understand some of the numbers may have been different depending on which list version. This is appeal number HA 2024-000863 regarding 437 through 39 West Girard Avenue.
Okay.
Appellant is Jianyang Gu. They are represented by counsel who I believe just entered by an email this morning. But we have a joint continuance request as she just entered.
Okay, joint continuance request. Is the individual's name that I have is a Paige Jaffe. Is that Miss Jaffe present?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Just put your name on the record, ma'am, and just indicate your concurrence with the city's position.
My name is Paige Jaffe. I represent the contractor in the matter 000863, and I concur with the continuance.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So we will note that it's continued.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I have that listed as case number 27.
Yes. Something's happened with the sequence of numbers, so we're going to rely more on the 4 digits.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Anything else, Ms. Reinhardt?
Nothing further.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Sean Logue.
Good afternoon, board members. There are three matters I wanted to call your attention to.
Okay,
The first is number 29 on my list, appeal ending in 001206, address 5709 Chestnut Street, appellant Michael Bynum. And that appeal has been resolved by a settlement agreement, the terms of which are city affirm with a reduced fine of $1,000.
okay, reduce fine to 1,000. Okay,
Correct. I
thank
have
you.
not yet shared that agreement with the board. I heard from the appellant moments before the hearing was going to get underway, so I will send that over as soon as I have his signature.
Thank you.
And then I have two more matters.
Mhm.
Number 31 on my list, appeal ending in 003562, address 900 Packer Ave, appellant Antonio Peretta. And that was also resolved by a settlement agreement, the terms of which are city affirm with a reduced fine of $2,000.
2,000. Okay, thank you.
And then finally, number 32 on my list, same appellant as before, Antonio Peretta, 900 Packer Ave, appeal ending in 003561. And that was listed in error. It's a duplicate appeal, the same one.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And that concludes my business.
Okay.
Excuse.
Yes, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You too.
Okay. Miss Milani Nesich.
Good afternoon, board members.
Afternoon.
I have a few preliminary matters to read into the record, if that's all right.
Yes, please.
I don't know about the numbering, but usually water cases are at the top of the list. So I'm going to start with what is number one on my list.
Okay.
923 Winwood Road.
Yeah, please use the last four digits first, then go to the address.
Yes, sir. That would be 4877.
Okay.
Last four digits, 4877, 923 Winwood Road. Petitioner's name David Nigro. The city's prepared to move forward with that. Sorry, I shouldn't have read that one.
Right.
Number two is appeal number 4969. That's 334 Leverington Avenue. Here, the appellants have attached new counsel and they request a continuance. I see that Miss Rachel Pritzker is on the call. She's requested a continuance for this matter.
What is your position?
I haven't heard from the board if that has been approved or not.
What it wasn't discussed in executive session, but what is your position? What is your argument?
The city has no opposition to this request.
Okay. We're listed here as a Michael Adler as the attorney, so that is no longer the case. Who's the attorney for this matter?
Good afternoon. My name is Rachel Pritzker, Rachael, Pritzker, Pritzker.
Okay. And you're counsel for the appellant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that Nicholas Bertino?
Yes.
Okay. And you concur with the city's position that this is a joint request for continuance?
Yes, Chairman.
Okay. All right. We'll note it as continued.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Next is appeal ending in 1000. This is 9340 Lansford Street. Appellant's name Kathleen Mileski. This is moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
Moving on to number 7, appeal ending in 1069. This is 5112 Cedar Ave. The petitioner's name is Solomon Mekonnen. Apologies if I mispronounced that. Mekonnen. This is also moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
Number 8 on my list, appeal ending in 1137, 3959 North Darien Street. Appellant's name is Samuel Crespo. This is moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
Number 9, appeal ending in 1301, 5114 Cedar Ave. Appellant's name Hirdi Tawel Deberahan. That's also moot complied.
Moot complied. Thank you.
Finally, back up to number 3, the appeal ending in 0447, This is 8143 Farnsworth Street. Appellant's name is Mark Glagowski. I received correspondence from Mr. Wade that perhaps there was an issue with the service of process to the appellant. I'm not exactly sure, but he has requested another continuance for the matter. And I don't know if the board has.
Okay,
made
what is your position?
The city is not opposed to another
Okay.
continuance, but
Okay.
it is requested just by the appellant.
Okay, thank you. Well, in this instance, we did check the record and there was a concern regarding adequate service.
Right.
And so we will grant the appellant's request for continuance.
Understood. The other matters for the water department, we are ready to proceed with, and
Okay.
that concludes my preliminary matters.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, Mr. Michael Rulo.
Good afternoon, board members.
Afternoon.
I could direct your attention to what is number 17 on my list, appeal ending 003-197 4559 North 15th Street, appellant Lorenzo Matthews. Around 30 minutes ago, counsel for the appellant Jermaine Harris and I emailed the board and alerted the board that we had just reached a settlement agreement. I did get permission from Mr. Harris, and that is in the email, to put that on the record here today.
Okay.
And that is a city affirm with a 90-day stay of enforcement.
90-day stay. Okay.
Moving to what is number 18 on my list, appeal ending 003-255 1435 South 54th Street, Susan Dean. My colleague, Kristen Packel, had previously submitted an agreement to the board. That agreement is for a city affirm 60-day stay of enforcement from July 2nd.
Okay, thank you.
Moving on to I'm going to skip down to number 24, which is ending 003-628 1526 North Felton Street, appellant Nicole Green. I believe we alerted the board to this earlier, but that is a matter that needs to be sent to the Board of Building Standards rather than to this board.
Okay, and is Nicole Green present?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Green, the law department is indicating that this matter is not rightly before this board. Sir, would you mind explaining to Ms. Unless if you had a conversation with her regarding this?
I have not had an opportunity to have a conversation.
Okay.
Would you like
after you finish, if you would go in a breakout room with her?
Absolutely.
Okay, Ms. Green, just hold on a moment until we finish the preliminary matter, and Mrs. Rulo will go in a breakout room with you to explain their position.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No problem.
And then I do have one more, which is number 19, ending 003-276 2701 Poplar Street. The appellant is a William Singletary. My understanding is I received an email earlier that a relative of Mr. Singletary had submitted a continuance request on the basis of medical issues. It seems like that was documented in there to a certain extent. I'm not sure if the board has made a determination as to whether or not I'll be continuing the matter. I did just want to note, though, for the record, that this is I believe this is the second time that this has been listed and continued by the appellant. That's at least my understanding. I default to Mr. Wade if that's incorrect.
Okay, we did review this matter in executive session, and two things. One, we determined that a continuance would be appropriate at this time. The second issue, though, is a matter of standing in legal counsel. So I guess, Mr. Rulo, you need to determine which of those appeals, which of those violations are being appealed by which entity, because there are multiple entities here.
Multiple entities, multiple individuals, and I also have the same questions and was hoping to get some answers from that today, as I have not had an opportunity to speak with them, but we will endeavor to do so.
Okay, all right. So noted as continued for today. Thank you.
And that does it for my matters, other than if I could please be placed in a breakout room with Ms. Green.
Okay, Mr. Wade. Okay, Mr. Christopher Johnson.
Good afternoon, distinguished members of the board. I have two matters that I'd like to raise here. One is number 13 on my list, HA 2023-001, 002898, the appeal of David Stewart regarding the dumping of debris illegally on the streets of Philadelphia. That should be marked as moot.
Moot? Yes, we have that.
Okay. Secondly, if we go to the second page of the list, the case number 23, HA 2023-003491, regarding Shlomo doing business as Star Painting and Wall Coverings.
Yes.
I had a chance to talk to Mr. Tuval Shlomo in the breakout room. He has appeared here today, and we have an agreement that that is going to be marked city affirmed with a $500 fine.
Okay, city firm, $500 fine. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Reinhardt.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have one additional matter. It is listed as number 15 on the list. This is appeal number HA 2024-000992 regarding 501 West Lehigh Avenue, Appellant Speedway LLC. I understand that there was an agreement to continue this case sent to board's administration sometime previously as part of a bundle of a number of Blir appeals.
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure that that was continued on the record.
Yes, that matter is continued for 60 days.
Thank you. That is the conclusion of my matters. May I please be excused?
Yes. Have a good afternoon.
You do the same.
Okay. Anyone else with any preliminary matters? Anyone else from the law department? Okay, the board itself has a few questions, and that may raise others. Just noted 3344, which is number 14, 1201 Market Street, Philadelphia Market Street, is the appellant is noted as withdrawn. I don't know if the counsel for the city is aware of that. That's 1201 Market Street. Anyone present who's representing that matter? Okay. Well, let's note it for the record for today, it's listed as withdrawn. Ready? Number 20 and number 21. That's 3353 1828 Tasker Street and 0924, which is 1459 North 30th Street. The appellant is Ralph Goldborough for both. Who's handling that matter?
Our colleague John Bazork is the attorney's son, but he's out today, so I'll fill in for him. I understand. I believe those were continued.
Yes, those two matters allegedly will be consolidated with a third matter that is not listed today, and it will all be heard at in a September date.
Great, thank you.
So these two matters should be noted as continued for today. That's 0924 and 3353 will be continued. Okay. Let's go item 426. That's 0481 1645 South Eiserminger Street. Carmel Mattia doing business at CGI Construction. CGI Construction. Who's representing the city?
I am Lee Bagelman for the city.
Okay, Mr. Bagelman, have you had any communication with anyone representing the interests of CGI Construction?
Yes, it's my understanding that this case was previously listed. Prior to that hearing, my colleague Kristen Patchell had a conversation via email about the need for the appellant to have counsel. I believe it was continued continued at that time to allow for appellant to get counsel. I also tried speaking to the appellant about the need for counsel. They informed me that they still don't have counsel, but the lawyer they want to hire is out of the country and said they're going to request a continuance. I informed them that they needed to email that continuance request in and that the board may or may not grant that request. They told me they would do so. I requested that they copy me on any communication and also requested that they have their attorney reach out to me. I have not heard from that individual or CGI Construction since then.
Okay, so essentially, is anyone present representing the interests of 1645 South Eisenmenger Street? Okay, no one's responding. Mr. Bigelman, what is your preference?
I would request that this be either a city affirm for failure to appear or city affirm for failure to prosecute. They've now had several months to obtain legal counsel, and I believe in the last listing, they did not even request the continuance. They again just did not appear.
Okay.
After being informed they needed to email a continuance request in. And so I would request a city affirm for either of those reasons, whatever the board
Okay.
prefers in this situation.
Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
There was no email correspondence, and they listed 51 North Third Street as their mailing address.
Okay, what was the date of the correspondence informing them of the meeting?
June 27th, 2024.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
1:25 PM.
1:25 p.m. We will poll the board regarding HA 2024-000481, 1645 South Eisenmenger Street. Carmel Mattia doing business as CGI Construction Inc. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Let's move down to number 33, which is HA 2023-003017, 1713 South Street. Hillary Bohr doing business as Pumpkin Restaurant. Who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, members of the board. Will Fernandez on behalf of the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, thank you. Miss Hillary Bohr, any person representing the interests of 1713 South Street. There are two cases to be heard today. 1713 South Street. Anyone present? Okay, Mr. Fernandez, no one is responding. What is your preference?
Mr. Chairman, hearing no response from the appellant, I would ask that both of the Hillary Dorr doing business as Pumpkin BYOB appeals be dismissed for failure to appear.
Okay. Now, one thing I'd ask you, were you prepared to put on any streets department testimony?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we were. I will say, in the interest of full disclosure, there was an article posted in the Inquirer, I think yesterday, maybe last night, stating that Pumpkin BYOB is closing for various reasons related to the economy, the pandemic, stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. All right, because we've had a long, convoluted, complex conversation, and I know this is not the first time this matter has come before us. Okay. All right. Thank you. Ms. Wade, would you confirm service, please?
For the first matter, service was sent to appellant address 710 South Hicks Street. On 7/22/2024, it was an emergency hearing. Or I'm sorry, this was the first. This is the first appeal that was continued. And it was consolidated with the emergency hearing, emergency appeal for the streets paving matter. That notice was sent on 7/22 as well, but being in an emergency approval, notice of this hearing was sent by email.
Okay. Was there a response to confirm that in fact they received confirmed receipt?
Yeah, I mean, there was correspondence with her all throughout the.
Okay. So there's no question as to whether she had adequate notice of today's hearing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
1:28 PM.
1:28 p.m. All righty. We will vote on each of these matters separately. We will poll the board on HA 2023-003017, 1713 South Street. Hillary Bohr doing business as LLC Pumpkin Restaurant. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
Thank you very much. The second matter, Mr. Pincus, give me your time again.
1:29 PM.
1:29 p.m. Thank you. We'll pull the board regarding HA-2024-002565 1713 South Street. Hillary Board doing business as LLC Pumpkin Restaurant. City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed, non-appearance.
Thank you very much. Okay, I believe that completes all of our preliminary matters. Okay, Mr. Fernandez, unless you have other matters, you excuse.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members of the board.
Yep. Okay, Mr. Wade, where did we start today?
There was a request for for cases 10, 11, and 12 to be called due to witness time constraints.
Okay, let's start with 10.
Case number 10, hearing appeal ending 2138, 1000 Stella Street is the location. Darrell Carter.
Okay, who's representing the city?
Good afternoon, board. This is Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, Darrell Carter. Mr. Darrell Carter, are you present?
Good afternoon. This is Lopez Thompson on behalf of Darrell Carter.
Darrell Carter? My apologies. Okay, Mr. Thompson, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Thompson, will Mr. Carter be present today and will he be testifying?
He was. I'm not sure if he is still present.
Yes.
Oh, okay. He is present then.
Okay, Mr. Carter. Mr. Thompson, do you anticipate calling him as a witness? I'm asking
No,
so
I
that,
do not.
well, that you don't. Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Who's the city witnesses today?
Your Honor, the sole witness for the city is Detective Maureen Berner.
Okay. Detective Berner, would you kind of make yourself known and raise your right hand for to be sworn?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God?
I swear.
All right, thank you very much. Place your hand down. Okay, Mr. Johnson, please proceed.
Yes. I am introducing this case that relates to an illegal dumping incident that occurred at the 1000 block of Stella Street back on March 17th of 2023. At this time, I am going to call Detective Berner.
Okay.
Detective Berner, can you please tell us where you're employed?
I am currently technically under the major crime unit, but we are working. I actually just was changed to the disturbance nuisance abatement unit. Prior to that, I was a detective in environmental crime unit under major crimes.
And as a detective in the environmental crimes area, what were your job entail at that point?
We were primarily investigating illegal dumping across the city, criminally and civilly were applicable.
And how long have you been a police officer?
I've been a police officer with the city of Philadelphia for approximately 12 years.
And how long have you been a detective?
Seven, going on 8.
Right. Are you familiar with the incident that was marked as incident number 23-25-018809?
Yes.
And how did you become aware of that incident?
We have 3 today. A vehicle was stopped, a white Chevy van with PA tag LTS 9876 for dumping at 1000 Stella, which is a known dumping area. And we were forwarded the information regarding that dump.
And do you recall, like, who forwarded you the information?
Well, we have the cameras at that location. Once we're made aware of an issue by Philadelphia Police or Streets Department, we go pull video and obtain the video and the dumper information. And we'll run their license plate to see who's the owner of the vehicle.
At this point in time, I'd like to share my screen and show the video in question.
Yes.
Can you see the video?
Not yet.
Okay, hold on one second. How about now?
Yes.
Okay, I forwarded this video to the board, and I'm gonna show a short portion of it, and I'd ask that the video be marked as City Exhibit 3.
Okay.
And I'm gonna scroll to around on the clock. It's the 1 minute mark of the video.
Okay.
Detective Burner, have you seen this video before?
So that's actually video that we pulled from our own systems. We send down to keep for chain of evidence purposes. We send down a request to it's the DIVIC, and they pull the video for us. So I actually requested this video.
And do you know where the camera was positioned that took the video?
It's up on a pole.
And at what intersection?
It's 1000 Stella. I'm not sure exactly at the particular intersection because this is like a back alley.
Do you know what neighborhood of the city is that?
25th District, it's east.
All right. And could you narrate what is happening on the video as we get to the 1 minute and 8 second mark?
So as you can see, the person in the back is removing items. You can appears from the rear of the vehicle and
Okay.
placing them.
Just one thing. At the moment, we don't. It's
Well,
tough to see the vehicle that we
Right,
reference.
but you can-
In the bottom right-hand corner of the screens. That's what you're referencing?
So as you can see, there's individuals moving with the doors open of the rear of the vehicle.
No.
You'll see when
I just see a door open. I don't see any people.
you can see you can see heads if you want to
No.
rewind that.
Wait,
Don't see any heads.
can you see it now?
But just one moment. Maybe my screen. My apologies. Let me check something. Let me move things around a little bit. Yes, my apologies. It was me, not you. Okay.
Yeah, there's actually two individuals. You'll see one person has a black hoodie up and then somebody else has a cap.
Okay. Yes, now
So
I
you'll
see
see
them.
them moving. Yes, they're moving.
Go ahead.
And it's just indicative of short dumping behavior. When they leave, you'll see what was left from the vehicle.
And what
You can also get the license plate tag.
what
from
time
this
of day was this incident?
Sorry, 1 second. I can't see that. Oh, I'm sorry, 2:00 in the afternoon, 2:30.
And do you recall just a second. I'm going to scroll now to the 3 minute and 55 second mark of the video. Roughly. Okay, can you tell us what's going on here?
I'm sorry, what's the question? What's going
Yeah,
on
wait,
here?
can you tell us what is happening now? We're at the 4 minute mark of the video.
I mean, you can't really see anything. They're still behind the vehicle. And then we have the license plate is right there. And you can see, now you can actually see trash being thrown on the ground. Windows, trash bags, wood.
Was it fair to say there's a lot of debris involved?
Yes.
And what did you do after you received the video?
We request the video to ensure that it's properly placed in the file, and we issue NOVs for fines.
And were you able to identify the license plate from the video?
right there. As he closed it, if you pause it, you can see you can make out the entire. And then this person gets in the vehicle. And the NOV was issued to the owner of the vehicle who does match the description of the dumpers.
And again, we can clearly see the license plate.
But you could
from
catch it
this
earlier
video.
as well.
We're at the 5 minute and 31 second mark. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing the video at this time. So Detective Burnham, once you got the video, what did you do after that?
We do our research. We will run the tag through our B&B and the PennDOT system, locate the owner of the vehicle, then find out who that person is. If they match the description typically, then we issue the NOV to the owner of the vehicle, which in this case he did. If we were able to identify him completely, the warrant would have been issued. But usually if we just match the description, we're able to issue the NOV for the fines.
Now, I'm going to show you a document marked with City Exhibit C2. Can you see the document marked C2?
Correct, yes. Mhm.
Can you tell us what this document is?
That's a 7548. That's our police report.
And did you make this as a documentation of the incident?
Yes.
And if I scroll down that first page, that's your name on the bottom of it?
Correct.
And what is the second page?
This is the information regarding the tag. So that's who the tag is registered to, which is also the person named on the NOV.
Okay. And who's the owner of that vehicle?
Darrell Carter.
What about the third page?
This is a photo of Mr. Carter's Pennsylvania driver's license.
And the fifth page?
Is a picture of the vehicle's tag.
And how about this next
That's
page?
just that's the tracking for the request for the video so that we can show it was actually done through our system.
Okay. And the final, the sixth page?
The 12 pieces of trash, yes. We counted. We count, it's at least 12, but that's how we count. And then we issued it for 5 per piece. It's probably more than that, obviously, but we can't see underneath it. And then it's cleaned up.
Okay. And now I'm going to share one last document. And this is going to be marked City Exhibit C1. Can you tell us what this document is, please?
That's the notice of violation that was issued by our office.
Okay. And was this sent by certified mail to the petitioner?
Correct.
And was it sent to 2 different addresses?
Yes, I believe, yes, Dearborn, and then, see, I think the car is registered somewhere, or the car is registered to Dearborn and then 65th Street. Correct.
And those were the addresses connected to both the vehicle and Mr. Carter's residence, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And
we send them to every address that we find, just in
this
case.
is another picture of the materials that were dumped.
Yes.
That's at page 5 of the document. And I'm also showing the final page of the exhibit, which is a copy of Philadelphia Code Section 10710. Can you do me a favor and just read paragraph 3 for the board?
Sure. No owner or operator of a trash, garbage, or debris collection vehicle, including private automobiles and small trucks, or any other type of vehicles used to collect or transport trash, garbage, or debris, or an agent of any such owner or operator shall knowingly deposit or cause to be deposited the vehicle's load or any part thereof in a manner that violates subsection 1 of this section.
Okay, thank you. And do you recall anything else about the matter that may assist the board in making a determination today? Okay, the city is going to ask for admission of exhibits C1, C2, and C3 of the video at this time.
So move. Okay,
Okay, the city rests.
thank you. Mr. Thompson, any cross?
Yes, Detective, the section of the code that you just read, does that pertain to, isn't it true that that pertains to vehicles that are in the business of dumping?
No, it does include them, but it actually includes any personal vehicle as well. So it's technically anything that can deposit trash. So your pickup truck, a regular car. It doesn't have to necessarily be connected with a business.
Can that exhibit be placed back up?
Yep.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
before we proceed with cross-examination, I'd like to ask for a brief executive session.
Okay, all right, just do this. Okay, let's do that. Then we'll pick up where Mr. Thompson asked that the exhibit be placed on the screen again. So let's take a quick executive session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Thompson, if you'd unmute, Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
sharing my screen.
Yes.
Right now.
Mr. Thompson.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Detective, in reading this, it states no owner or operator of a trash, garbage, or debris collection vehicle, including private automobiles or small trucks, or vehicles used to collect or transport trash, garbage, or debris. Is it your understanding that this section deals with only individuals in the business of trash collection? And if you disagree with that, can you show us?
I'm going to object. He's asking the officer for an opinion on the law. That's a request for a legal conclusion that's not admissible.
Okay.
Well, it was presented, and if I recall, I believe the officer testified to it.
I had to read it into the record.
Okay.
Yep. So there's an objection, Mr. Thompson, and I'm going to sustain the objection. Okay.
Very well. Thank you. Detective, you had initially testified that this vehicle was stopped. Isn't it true that the vehicle was never stopped by any police officers?
No, I
can't see the. Oh, okay. I can see you.
I'm
now.
sorry. I actually, because I was looking at that, I just want you to know I'm not in my office. I can't pull my file. I believe the police were kind of coming into the area and they left. There was a citizen. I'm not 99% sure. I apologize for that. But I think somebody contacted our office as well. This is why we pulled this video.
But no one actually came into physical contact with this vehicle.
No.
And no one actually identified any of the individuals in this vehicle, correct?
No, that would include a 48A. There would have been a car stop if they actually physically did a car stop on him. So those types of stops would result in a warrant. Mr. Carter would have been arrested as well if he was stopped by police and actually identified. So that's the difference in that. Okay.
There's no way of really knowing who actually was in that vehicle, correct?
Well, that would be an argument for the criminal justice system, not
No,
this,
that's the
because
question that I'm asking you. You have no way of knowing who was actually in that vehicle, correct?
He matches the description of the owner. The person who is actually dumping matches the description of the owner.
So then I'll ask you, are you 100% certain that it was Mr. Carter in that vehicle? Okay.
No.
And what we didn't see was the what was out there prior to this vehicle. Isn't that correct?
So when we review the video, that's part of what we look at prior to the vehicle pulling up. We ensure that there was nothing there.
Okay,
And
but
or
you
how
never,
much was there.
I'm sorry?
Or how much was there. So I don't have the video with me. I don't know if there is a video prior to the van pulling up, which normally we would get the whole thing. So I don't know.
So at this point, you can't tell this board what was actually out there, whether it was 1 bag, 2 bags, or 6 bags, correct?
I can see what they dumped. Yes, I can by the video.
So you're saying that you could see beyond that van and tell exactly what they dumped?
No, I can see that they're dumping and then they pull off and then there's more trash and debris on the ground, which was significantly more than 12 pieces.
Okay, so let me rephrase it then.
Mhm.
If you're indicating that you don't have a video to show what was there before,
I didn't say that. I said I don't have the video with me to look at in this moment. I don't know if Mr. Johnson can go back and see if that was actually part of the video. I don't have it in front of me.
but my
So
question is,
I don't know. I don't know if that's in the video or not right now.
okay, but as we stand here today, right now, you can't honestly say how many bags that, you can't say what was actually dumped there, correct?
I can say they dumped there.
My question is, can you actually say what was dumped there?
I believe that's been asked and answered. I'm gonna object. We've
Well,
covered this.
so noted, but I guess I just want Miss Detective Brennan to answer to the degree that the question is, do you know how much was dumped? The actual number of bags were dumped. We know
No,
that
that's
how many are
impossible.
there.
That's impossible to know. That's
Okay.
an impossible answer. I can only
Okay.
know that they dumped and count by what I can see on a picture. And like I testified.
Okay, that's a
Fred-
response.
Yeah.
That's a response. Mr. Thompson, I think that responds to your question.
I agree. So one further question. So with that acknowledgement that you could tell that something was dumped, but you don't know what was dumped, then the I think C2, which indicates that there were 6 bags dumped, is inaccurate. Isn't that correct?
I have 12 trash bags, wood and windows.
Okay, but my question is, without your knowledge of what was actually dumped, because you, as you stated, I think you can't see it. You're just assuming, correct?
I mean,
No, that's not what
I
I
would
said.
offer, if we want to revisit the video and look at the before and after of that spot, we can do that because that's in the video, I believe.
That's what I was trying to say. I don't have that video, but we usually order the video prior to the dump, then them leaving.
Okay, wait. Mr. Johnson, do you have in your exhibit package video of the space prior to the van arriving
Well,
and dumping?
I focused in on the portions where you could observe the van, but if I go to the video, it may start with an image of what it looked like prior.
Okay, well then what we will do then is let Mr. Thompson complete his cross. You can go back and redirect.
Okay.
Miss-
But more specifically, you don't have anything. I just want to reiterate, you don't have anything to indicate that it was actually my client, Darrell Carter, there, correct?
His van was there. The van that's registered to him was there. And the person in the video matches his description.
Detective, can you answer
Yes.
that? Okay, nothing further.
All right, thank you. Mr. Johnson, any redirect?
I don't have a copy of the video that goes back far enough to when the camera was on that location, so I'm not gonna ask any redirect at this time.
Okay, thank you.
This
Any
is
additional?
interesting.
Yes. I would like to ask to call Mr. Carter as on cross.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
gonna
let's do
object to
this.
that.
Let's have Mr. If you don't have any witnesses on your side, Mr. Johnson, what I'd like to do is have Mr. Thompson. If the city's ready to rest, you can do that, and then have Mr. Thompson present his
Well,
case?
I want to call Mr. Carter as on cross.
Okay, all right. All right, so call Mr. Carter.
I'm going to object to that.
So noted. We've
Because
noted.
we have a police officer here who, in her opening statement, indicated that she investigates these civilly and criminally. So for my client to subject himself to cross-examination would open himself up to some prosecution. So I will object to that.
And I would like to note for the record that this is not a criminal proceeding, and if the appellant wants to refuse to testify and try and invoke his Fifth Amendment protection, then he certainly can refuse to testify, but the tribunal can take an adverse inference as to what his testimony would have been by his refusal to testify.
Okay,
No, I
so
understand
noted.
that.
Okay. So noted, Mr. Thompson. You want to withhold him from cross at this time? Do you
Correct.
plan to call for direct?
No.
Examination. So you don't plan.
I
Okay.
had indicated that I did not.
Do you have any witnesses you want to place on the
I
record?
do not.
Okay.
And the defense rests.
Okay. We do have a Mr. Pincus. I think you had a question regarding the appeal.
Yes, I do, if I may.
Should that be directed to Detective Berner?
No, I believe it's a question actually for counsel, for Mr. Thompson, and arguably as well for Mr. Johnson.
Okay.
I just want to note for the record that I pulled up the appeal and which is part of the documents that are provided to the board prior to each hearing, along with a copy of the notice of violation. And as I read the appeal, and unless somebody disagrees, the appeal is noted as shows on the top, the case was continued from May 9th, shows it was on May 9th, 2023, shows the appeal was received on May 11th, 2023, shows the appellant is Darrell Carter, and it shows and lists as counsel Lopez T. Thompson. And as the reason for the appeal, it states appellant believes the fee is excessive. So I just want to note for the record that there is no appeal that's before this board regarding the validity of the violation that was issued by the Streets Department. It would appear to me that that is an admission by virtue of the way the appeal was written, that in fact the violation was valid, and the only appeal is as to the fee, which is not a matter that this board has jurisdiction to hear. I just wanted to call that to the attention.
The city agrees with that and would have been part of our closing.
Okay. So what we will do, Mr. Thompson, you can address that in your closing if you like, or respond directly to
Very well.
Mr. Pincus.
I'll respond. I believe at the time that Mr. Carter came into the office, we had very little time to file this appeal, and we may have inadvertently not put on in the appeal our objection, because in looking at the actual amount of the paperwork, we dealt with the appeal right then and there. But I will say at this point that Mr. Carter denies being involved in that dumping. And I'll say that for the record.
Okay, thank you. All right, any closing argument, Mr. Johnson?
Yeah, I would like to remind the board that the burden of proof that the city has in this matter is a preponderance of the evidence. That means if the board finds that it's more likely than not that the owner was involved in the dumping incident, and he didn't have to be exactly the one throwing the trash out of the truck, I would say that you should find as city affirm here. I would like to note also that we clearly have the vehicle being used for dumping, and Mr. Carter is on this call today. I would have asked him, but he's sitting in the truck right now, which the city would offer is a work truck, and He's offered no evidence on his own behalf to say, I didn't do it. And the board can take whatever inferences from that they will. And there's been no testimony offered to rebut the case of the city. So we'd ask for a city affirm.
Okay, thank you very much. If there are no further questions or testimony at this time, we will poll the board on HA-2023-002138, 1000 Stella Street, Darrell Carter, city affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
City affirmed.
Thank you very much. The vote is unanimous, city affirmed. Thank you, Mr. Thompson, for your
Thank you.
participation. And of course, you have every right to appeal the decision of this board. And have a good afternoon.
You do the same.
Okay, thank you. Alrighty. The witnesses, I think we have another matter that would include Detective Burner, so please stand by. Okay, what's next? Mr. Johnson, are you in the additional
Yes,
matters as well? Okay.
It is I.
Okay. All right, Mr. Wade.
Case number 11, hearing appeal ending 2337, 900 Ontario Street. Daniel Moore.
Good afternoon, board. It's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, anyone present representing Daniel Moore, 900 Ontario Street. 900 Ontario Street.
I'm here, sir. I was looking for a continuance, trying to get counsel.
Pardon me?
I said I'm here representing myself, but I was asking for a continuance to get counsel.
Okay. You, Mr. Daniel Moore?
Yes, sir.
Okay, raise your right hand, sir, please. You swear or affirm the testimony you give today be the truth so help you God.
Yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Moore, has this matter been previously continued?
Not for the appeal.
This matter was listed May 9th, 2024.
So it was previously appealed. I mean, previously continued. This is the second listing.
Chairperson, and it was previously continued for the purpose of appellant obtaining counsel at appellant's request.
On May 9th. So this would be the third listing.
I believe it's just
the city opposes any further continuances, and I don't believe there's a reason for it. I'll make an offer of proof right now. We have a video that clearly shows Mr. Moore throwing materials out of the back of a rented truck onto the street.
Okay. So, Mr. Moore, why didn't you get an attorney yet? You had an opportunity. Well, what makes things different now?
I just needed time to get the funds together.
But you've had since May 9th. And you knew this date was scheduled. Today is August 1.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, so that's not the appeal is not granted. That's denied. Okay, you prepared to proceed?
Can I just withdraw my appeal?
Sure, you can withdraw your appeal. Absolutely. You can do that. All right. For the record, Mr. Daniel Moore's withdrawing his appeal. Any response, Mr. Johnson?
No, Your Honor.
Chairperson. Okay. We'll note for the record that Mr. Daniel Moore has withdrawn his appeal, number HA-2023-002337, 900 Ontario Street. Noted as withdrawn. Thank you, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Case number 12, hearing appeal ending 2835. Address of incident, 4500 Warnock Street, Glenn Brown.
Okay.
Hi, it's Christopher Johnson for the city of Philadelphia.
Okay. Mr. Glenn Brown. Mr. Glenn Brown. Anyone present representing the interests of Mr. Glenn Brown, 4500 Warnock Street? Anyone present?
Mr. Chairman, I note on our list that there is an attorney's name given as well.
Angelo, yeah.
It's my understanding that from Mr. Kelly of our office that this was continued once before for the same reason. And it's also my understanding that Mr. Cameron had denied to Mr. Kelly that he represents the petitioner in this case.
Okay, so let's do this. Mr. Wade, check for service, please.
Mr. Brown listed P.O. Box 45699 as his appellant's address. Notice of this hearing was sent on 6/25/2024 to P.O. Box 45699. Notice was also sent to Angelo Cameron at 100 South Broad on the same date.
Okay, thank you very much. So Mr. Johnson, what's your preference?
The city would request the board mark it as city affirm failure to appear.
Okay, Mr. Pincus, what time do you have?
2:07 p.m.
2:07 p.m. Thank you. We will poll the board on HA-2023-002835, 4500 Warnock Street, Glen Brown, city affirm non-appearance.
City affirm for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
Thank you very much. I think that resolves that matter. I
Thank
think
you.
Detective Werner, you excuse, that should be conclude those matters. Mr. Johnson, anything else?
Not at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty, Mr. Wade, I think we go back to the top of the list.
Well, at this, I believe all we have left is the 3 water department cases. However, while we were hearing the other 2 cases, I looked at matter 5 and matter
Yes.
6. I'd like to call them because I've found some errors in the service on those 2 matters.
Okay, before you do that, though, we did have this issue of the matter that should be referred to the Board of Building Standards that resided number 25,
Yes.
1526 North Felton Street, Nicole Green.
I don't believe they're on anymore. I believe she was in the breakout room with.
Okay, so that matter is noted as withdrawn, or how are we handling that?
Remanded. I don't know, Brian.
I mean, I think it would, we should be able to I guess
We can refer it to the Board of
Yeah,
Building
listed in-
Standards.
yes.
Can I have it as listed in error, and then I'll switch the appeal over to Board of Building Standards.
Okay,
I believe
All
that's
right.
appropriate. Yes.
yeah, okay. Thank you.
Matter number 5, hearing appeal ending 1045. 146 Conroe Street, Brian Ty.
Anyone present? Anyone present? Miss Milani Nesich?
Yes.
Just go on the record as the city's representative.
Yes, that would be me, Melanie Nezich, for the City of Philadelphia Water Department.
Okay. There's been no response. Mr. Wade, is there an issue with service?
There's several issues with the address that was discrepancies between the address listed on the appeal and where the notice was sent.
Okay.
That'll be corrected.
So is your position in that we do not have proper service?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Nesich, in that instance, given that we don't have proper service, we're going to have to continue this matter so a proper service can be conducted and give the individual an opportunity to appear.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Same for matter number 6, hearing appeal ending 1051. 4272 Viola Street, Helen, Houston, doing business as Slovenia, Houston.
Okay. Anyone present representing 4272 Viola Street? Anyone present? Given what we've been told by the administrator, this matter will be continued for lack of service. All right. Anything else?
Our final matter of the day, case number 1, hearing appeal ending 4877 923 Winwood Road.
Okay. Ms. Nesich, I assume you're representing the city in this matter?
Yes, sir. Thank you. The city is prepared to move forward, but I don't see the petitioner on the call.
Okay. Mr. David Nigro. Mr. David Nigro. 923 Winwood Road. 923 Winwood Road. No one's responding. Okay, Mr. Wade, could you confirm service, please?
Mr. Nigro listed 923 Winwood Road as his address. This matter was previously continued from May 6th. Notice was sent to 923 Winwood Road on 4/30 for the May 6th hearing. Notice of this hearing was sent to 923 Winwood Road on June 25th for this hearing.
Okay, thank you very much. Given that and no response, Ms. Nesich, what is your preference?
The city would kindly request the board to affirm its notice of defect for failure to appear.
Okay, thank you. All right, what time do you have, Mr. Pincus?
2:12 p.m.
2:12 p.m. We will then poll the board on HA-2023-004877, 923 Winwood Road, David Nigro, City affirmed, non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirm non-appearance.
City affirmed for non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
City affirmed non-appearance.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Wade, does that conclude our matters for today?
That's all I have.
Okay.
Before we finish, gentlemen, I see one of the appellants from one of my matters still here. And I just was wondering, Mr. Chairman, if you could re-explain what moot complied means, or
which
perhaps
matter is that?
This would be 5114 Cedar Ave, Kiridi Tewel Deberahan. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Tewel Deberahan.
5114 or 5112?
5114.
Okay. And that is anyone present? Right. Unless the person is just hanging around because they want to see it's a public event experience.
Right.
Are there any questions from the owner of 5114 Cedar Avenue?
We're present.
Okay, I don't see I need to see a face.
Okay.
Well,
There you go.
okay. Now you understand your matter is listed as moot complied, correct?
Okay. Yes.
Okay, just wanted you to know that it's been resolved for today.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the finding?
It was listed as moot complied.
I'm sorry, but can you explain what that means?
Well,
Mr. Chairman, somebody else speaking.
Yeah, the person I'm looking at isn't speaking, so I'm looking at someone who isn't speaking.
Okay. I give to you my daughter.
And you're who am I speaking with?
This is my
Faven.
daughter, Faven.
Okay, I need to know who that person is.
My name is Faven.
Faven, spell that please.
F as in Frank, E-B-E-N, Faven.
Pronounce your last name.
Hapte.
Okay, that is not the name that we're dealing with. We're dealing with someone
You're dealing
named.
with my mother.
She is my daughter, so I have a problem with the language she is explained to me.
Okay.
Can I put them in a breakout room with Mr.
Yes.
Evans?
Yes, we'll put you in the breakout room. Ma'am, do you know how to do that? We'll put you in the breakout room with the city's lawyer. They can explain all the details to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, have a good day. All right, we'll do that, Ms. Nessich, and that way you can have an opportunity to explain things to them in a much more relaxed experience, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Nothing else? That will conclude today's hearing.